So everyone has been talking about how AI can do this and AI can do that. Today, I want to ask AI, hey, can you make me famous on Twitch? Can you make me a famous live streamer? AI, please. So the concept is pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and ask ChatGPT how to become famous. We're going to ask a couple questions, and then I'm going to give you my feedback on the answers. From what I understand, it's basically pulling information from the internet, all over the internet. So we're going to see if we actually get some bad advice or maybe advice that is too general to apply to everyone. This video is actually sponsored by your mom. What a lovely lady. Let's get into it. Okay, so basically here it starts with the very important warning. So the whole goal to make it accessible to everyone so that they can get feedback to make it better. So if you're trying to use this, but the website you're using is behind a paywall, you're getting scammed. And that part is also important. While we have safeguards in place, the system may occasionally generate incorrect or misleading information and produce offensive or biased content. It is not intended to give advice. Oh, that's just like me. Anyways, that's the whole point of the video, to find out if there are things that I disagree with. This is just for entertainment purposes. It's not like you actually follow my advice anyways. Blah, blah, blah. Don't share sensitive information. They might record all of that. Of course, you're literally signing in to give answers to an AI. All right, let's ask the most basic question. How can I get famous on Twitch? How do I become famous? Can you tell English is not my main language? And enter. Wow, it's typing a lot. All right, I hate reading, believe it or not, but I have a little extension that is going to do the reading for me. It's called Natural Readers. It is free, but that's not what the video is about. Anyways.
Becoming famous on Twitch requires dedication, consistency, and hard work.
Overall, not bad, except one that I wrote that was like, whoa, no. Find your niche, yes, or don't. To be honest, like variety streamers are not the most advantageous position, but if you like doing a lot of things, you can make your stream very focused around you. You can be your own niche. The niche can be you. People show up for you, and you don't put too much emphasis on the game you're playing in order to grow a community that cares about you. That means you have to do things like just chatting. Just chatting actually has to be the category that you use the most, so that whenever you jump into whatever, people are willing to watch you play whatever. But of course, there are certain things that are not going to resonate with your audience. So there are games that you're going to pick and you're going to see that you get less views. Just stop playing them. If you really enjoyed the game, play them off stream. So niching down will help. The thing is, if you pick the wrong niche, or if you for some reason you pick a niche where it's very, very difficult to grow in, what's going to happen is that you're going to be stuck. I've seen people experience a lot of growth in one niche, and then it turns out that that one video game that was their niche started dying down, and there is a lot of drama in the community, and the whole environment become toxic, and then they feel stuck. Because now they grew like a little community, and they're so afraid to lose that one community that they won't allow themselves to grow anymore, or to lose them and then build a new one, because it's all so scary. So the niche thing, yes, you have a certain advantage. The thing is, you have to pick the right niche, and that can be scary. So honestly, if you're starting out, experiment, or even if you're not starting out, if you never branched out and you're not happy with your current niche, do it, branch out and experiment with a lot of things. That's what I would say. The idea of it can be tempting to play the latest and most popular games, but it's important to stand out from the crowd and find your unique style. Again, very, very vague advice here. Well, it's not supposed to be advice, but you can play all the popular games. That's completely fine. Actually, if people are very focused on you, they will want to know your opinion on that brand new game. So it might be a good thing for you to play those brand new games. New games also means a lot of traffic around the keywords and things like that. So if you start a YouTube channel and you start making videos about said game, and then you let people know at the end of the videos, or even at the beginning, that, hey, also, if you want to catch me playing this game, follow me on Twitch, you're going to generate a ton of traffic because those games have a lot of hype behind them. Number 2 is create high quality content. Yes, invest in a good microphone. Yes and no. The thing is, nowadays there are microphones. I review them, so I know what I'm talking about. I have a ton of them. I've maybe too many of them. The thing is, there are very cheap microphones that sound just as good as an expensive microphone, straight up. Also understand how to properly use a microphone, the distance, where to put it, what can create noise and things like that, as well as how to filter the microphone once you plugged it into your computer. The filters, you have your VSTs like equalizers, you have your compressors, you have your specific types of noise reducers and all of that. If you don't understand any of that, there's no microphone that's gonna sound perfect. There's no magical microphone that's plug and play and can adapt to the environment and has a brain and can be like, that was a train outside the window. Let me not capture that and let me capture your voice, even though the mic is closer to your keyboard than your mouth. It doesn't exist. So saying create high quality quality content, invest in a good microphone, to me, makes it sound like you're telling people, hey, spend a lot of money on your mic and it's gonna sound good. No, I know a lot of people, actually, I'm even comfortable saying the majority of people that I see on Twitch with very expensive microphones don't sound good because they don't know how to use it. Webcam, a C920 is more than fine. Lighting is very important. And again, lighting doesn't mean you spend a lot of money. When it comes to lighting, you spend money on how convenient it's gonna be. Things like the Elgato key light, which is what I'm using right now for my face, very convenient. Can connect it through your phone via Wi-Fi, and it's compatible with other things like the Stream Deck, which is very convenient also. So that's where the money is going. Of course, there are details like the quality of light, how long is it gonna last in general. But again, good lighting is actually your mastery of lighting that's gonna shine through. It's not how much money you spent on a light. Yes, it is possible to have a lighting setup that is very cheap and that is indistinguishable, if not even better than an expensive one, as long as the person knows what they're doing with the light. I have videos on that, by the way. And the whole thing is to make sure your stream looks and sounds professional. No, it doesn't have to. It's Twitch. Viewers don't expect you to look and sound professional. This is not TV. This is not a TV show or a big company. It's fine if you're just in your bedroom. Of course, it helps when things look good, but there is something such as looking too professional and being too professional where there's no human connection. You feel like you're watching a show with someone who's paid to be there and is just saying the things without believing in them. Sometimes people want a human connection, and sometimes that human connection comes through the idea of, oh, that's just a dude in his apartment, which is what I am, a dude in my apartment. It's a wild looking apartment, I'll give you that. But if it was like a proper set and I was sitting here in a tuxedo being like, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my show, blah, 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 there's no human connection there. Like, you feel like you're watching a robot at this point. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with that, because you're gonna tell me people do watch TV. The whole point of live streaming on Twitch, for example, is the connection, the interaction. Being a little too perfect doesn't invite interaction. Being a little too perfect does not invite interaction. It might capture the attention, but it's gonna be hard to grow a community that is really attached to you as a human being. Consider creating a schedule for your stream. Yes, but no. Schedules are great. People know when to pull up, right? Other people, especially if you have, some mental health things or other things going on in your life in general, you don't need to have a schedule. You can opt out of a schedule. I know so many people who force themselves to stick to a schedule because they know that it's gonna give them growth or whatever. And then they end up being streamers who constantly post on Twitter, sorry guys, I gotta cancel the stream. Sorry guys, I have to cancel the stream. Sorry guys, I'm not really feeling it. Sorry guys, I stubbed my toe. A schedule for certain people might make feel like live streaming is some sort of chore. It might remove all the passion from it and all the fun or all the joy, just because you might wake up and thinking, oh my god, at 9 p.m. tonight sharp, I have to be there. You don't have to. You really don't have to. But try to keep a certain bracket of time. For example, if you stream at night, you're gonna have the same audience, right? If it's someone that is coming back from work and then they finally have time to relax during the night and they can catch you, that's completely fine. You don't have to stick to a specific schedule, especially if it's not fun. Try it out, of course. If you can stick to it, it's better for you. But in general, I don't want you to think that you're a failure because you just cannot stick to a schedule. Engage with your audience, respond to messages. Of course, yes. Create polls, ask for feedback to make your viewers feel included and appreciated. So while this was reading, I said yes and no. So yes, you should do all that. Of course, responding to chat messages, that's a given. Like, that's like the whole point of live streaming, especially as a small streamer, right? Creating polls, it's pretty cool to give them some choices and all that. Asking for feedback is good to make your viewers feel included and appreciated. But, and this might sound counterproductive, one of the biggest rules as a content creator is to never listen to chat. Because the whole point of you being a content creator is that you have to figure out what chat likes, and chat doesn't. They are viewers, they are consumers of your entertainment. They are not content creators. Therefore, when you ask questions to know what is going to be more successful, they have no clue because they've never been in that position. So yes, make them feel included, ask for feedback, create polls, but don't treat your chat like content coach. Like a content coach. At the end of the day, as a content creator, it is your job to find those things out. As I tweeted a couple days ago, you need to know your audience better than they know themselves, because the human being in general just doesn't know much about what affects their choices and what they like and why they like things. They just like things and don't like things. They just take actions or don't take actions. Building a community around your channel is key to your success on Twitch. Yes, absolutely. Yes, for the most part, like 99%, yes. Collaborate with other streamers. This one, I'm not a huge fan of the whole pushing collabs as this magical way of getting new viewers and stuff, because the truth is, if you're a small streamer, you can most likely only collab with other small streamers. So there's not much of an audience, but like the percentage of whoever you're interacting with that are gonna like you enough to want to keep on following you and keep on watching you, knowing that their time is finite, even if they're regulars of the other streamer, it's so low. It is so low. Now, what I suggest you to do, which I don't like calling networking, is just make friends. It's just good as a content creator to find people that share the same interests and that you can have a discussion with. Because most people are not content creators. When you go to work and you talk about content creation with your coworkers, they're gonna look at you like you're feral. And even worse, your friends from college or from wherever, your family, might even discourage you. Might even tell you, well, yeah, I could never do this and I could never do that. And then you're left with no one to talk to about your passion. So find other content creators and befriend them. You know, make friends in this space. I just gotta follow. Del Kitty, if you're watching this, thank you for the follow. I'm recording, not even live. Look for opportunities to collaborate on streams, events, or social media. So yes, but don't focus on that at all. Make friends first. Find people that you're cool with, and then you can interact with them. You can collab with them. I don't like even calling them collab. I just play games with my friends and we just happen to be live. Ooh, extra tip for this. Definitely stop DMing me talking about networking or befriending me. Promote your channel, use social media. Yes. This is very vague. Like this is, you know, what you would find on articles. Just promote your channel on social media. And then they say you should consider running ads or sponsoring other streams to create. No. I honestly think that social media is at a point where you can get a lot of traffic for free. It's an art in a way. You have to learn how to do it and do a lot of trial and error, test stuff, see what people relate to, really focus on your target audience to the point where you know them more than they know themselves. Yes. So I wouldn't advise you to start investing money into running ads to whoever. You know what I mean? If anything, that might bring you more hate than anything, because people are seeing your face that have nothing to do with your Twitch channel and don't want to have anything to do with it. So they might assimilate your face with, oh, this is the annoying person that I keep seeing on my ads. Whereas growing organically on social media and finding out like how to post in a way that makes people happy with your post and make your post shareable or getting high engagement and things like that, that will actually help you. And on top of that, social media platforms individually are what I like to call a full-time job. You can grow communities individually. There's a lot of people that follow me on Twitter that never watch my streams or any of my videos. Am I making money with Twitter? Not really, but if I were to focus on Twitter, there's a lot of people that run accounts that are solely for the purpose of making money. That's a job. You can run a Twitter account that makes money. And in the end, is becoming famous on Twitch takes time and effort. Yes. Hard work, dedication, to the point where honestly, you might consider me a Twitch guru or whatever. I feel like it's not even worth it. I always say that Twitch is the worst way to actually make money online or to build a career as a content creator. I have a hard time thinking of something worse than Twitch. Maybe if you become a YouNow live, actually you probably will be making more money as a YouNow content creator. Is YouNow still a thing? You guys remember YouNow? Okay, so here we can either regenerate the response or ask another question. I want to do something like how to grow my Twitch channel, which I hear so often. It's the same thing. Play games that are popular and relevant. Wait, hold up. What happened about not playing games that are popular and instead standing out? Look at that. It can be tempting to play the latest and most popular games, but it's important to stand out from the crowd and find your unique style. I guess it doesn't tell you not to do it, but this one is straight up play games that are popular and relevant. Like this is plain text. Popular games can help you attract new viewers who are searching for streams of that game. However, it's also important to play games that you enjoy and that showcase your unique style. Okay, not that inconsistent. Use social media to promote your channel, yes, but to elaborate, like learn each platform and learn what people want from each platform, what they're waiting for from each platform. Create that content and then link it back to your Twitch if that's your main platform. Personally, yeah, I would advise that it shouldn't be, but hey, you do you, boo boo. Collaborate. Oh my God, they really emphasize on collaborating. Analyze your data. Yes, Twitch built-in analytics, or they suck, but they're getting better actually. There was an update recently, never mind. You can use this data to adjust your content strategy, especially since I was talking about variety streamers. You know, you play, if every time you open up Fortnite, you see your viewership drop all the time over a consistent period of time, maybe stop. Or maybe do something else. Maybe you're playing Battle Royale, but everyone wants to see you do creative. I doubt it, but still, that is for you to figure out. Content creator, you have to create, but at the same time, you have to market it too. Now let's ask a question that I would probably ask it, and something a little more complex. Keep in mind, this is pulling from the internet. So if you're typing things that have little to no results on the internet, for example, on Google, let's say, it's just gonna regurgitate back the little information that's out there. So expend your knowledge by typing the right keywords. We were asking about Twitch. There, compared to the word live streaming in general, there's not a lot of answers about Twitch on the internet in general, in the grand scheme of things. So maybe just asking about live streaming in general might give you tips that, you know, no one who wrote a blog about Twitch ever thought of. So how do I improve audience retention on my live streams?
Improving audience retention on your live streams is important to keep viewers engaged and coming back to your channel. Here are some tips to help improve audience retention.
All right.
Keep your content interesting.
Yes.
Make sure that your content is engaging and entertaining.
Yeah, of course.
Try to incorporate variety into your streams, such as playing different games, inviting guests, or conducting candor sessions.
Okay, this is interesting. It's actually advocating for variety, which is kind of the opposite of niche. To be fair, there can be variety within a specific niche. Playing different games, maybe the niche is a category of video games, like cozy games, right? Or FPS games, or survival games. I personally like the idea of inviting guests. That being said, conducting Q&A sessions, we can count this as like just chatting. Every time you go live in the first hour, you do just chatting. It's basically a live Q&A session, to be fair.
Interact with your audience. Engage with your audience by responding to chat messages, welcoming new viewers, and calling out viewers by name.
That is very basic. We're talking about very basic things.
You can also run polls, take requests, or create mini games that involve your viewers.
Oh, we haven't seen that before. Create mini games. I actually watch all of my videos, okay? I think I have a video where I have a list of all the interactive things that I know about that are highly effective during a live stream. You're gonna have to find that video though.
Use overlays and alerts. Overlays and alerts are a great way to keep your viewers engaged and informed.
Facts.
Use them to highlight.
Facts. Sometimes having like an event list, I don't personally use an event list, or just a labels bar, will motivate people to perform certain actions like follow you, subscribe, or give bids and all that stuff, right? Just to know that, hey, I see this name up there. That means that for sure the streamer has alerts, and on top of that, my name is going to be up there for a little bit.
Use them to highlight important moments, showcase new followers or subscribers, and promote upcoming events or streams.
Yes.
Be consistent. Consistency is important for building a loyal audience.
True.
Make sure to stream on a regular schedule so your viewers know when to expect you.
Semi-regular.
Promote upcoming content. Let your viewers know about upcoming streams or events to keep them engaged and excited about your content.
Yes, but do not expect for like pre-hype. How do I put this? Basically, there's something with the streaming community or with Twitch viewers in general that no matter how much you advertise an event, it is rarely going to necessarily get the attention that you think it's gonna get, right? You could have been talking about it for a month, and then came the day, they won't know that, oh, it's today, right? Some people, if you have really good regulars or friends and things like that, they might put like an alert or an alarm or something. But most people, they like to catch things on the spot. So if you're streaming at a regular schedule and you do that event during that regular schedule, you will get, you know, the normal amount of views plus the people who are super loyal and remember that it's an event. So it's important to do it, to advertise your event and things like that. It's good for your image, but don't think that it's going to triple your viewer count just because you advertised it a bunch, right?
Monitor your chat. Keep an eye on your chat for any negative or inappropriate comments that could turn off your audience.
True. If you have trolls, as bad as it sounds, don't fight back. It's like the best way to handle a troll is to quietly ban them and continue your conversation, continue your stream, and move on. I know there's a lot of trolls that like to walk the line, which is what is bannable and what's not, and they love to basically push the streamer until they finally get a ban. Watching a live streamer have a conversation with someone who's being completely obnoxious, especially if it lasts and clearly the person is trying to troll, is never entertaining. It'll make your good viewers basically want to leave because they just can't stand the cringe. And if you're one of those, oh, I turned a hater into a viewer, congrats, you have a troll in your community, and one day that might backfire, so good luck.
Encourage positive interactions and create a welcoming environment for all viewers.
Oh yes,
Analyze.
The welcoming environment is one that is, it's too complex for me to go into right now, but basically there are streamers who are amazing streamers, very entertaining streams and everything, they do everything right, but the one thing that they're doing wrong is that their stream doesn't seem accessible or engaging or welcoming. Right? Sometimes you pull up to a stream and there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of things going on, but it feels like you're spying on a group of friends that are just busy. It doesn't feel like there is an entertainer who's here having fun, but who's also actively trying to entertain you. It just feels like you're looking through a peephole, and it makes you not want to type and chat. And yes, you're going to be entertained. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of audience retention and you're going to watch for a while, but it doesn't get you engaged. So think about that. People who have overprotective mods or live stream for regulars, and they all have their inside joke, and everything they talk about is this group of friends, and it's the mods, it's the regulars, it's the VIPs, and new people just don't get what's going on. Think about that. Anyways.
Analyze your performance. Use Twitch's built-in analytics tools to track your audience retention and identify areas for improvement. Look for patterns in your viewer behavior and adjust your content strategy accordingly.
Yes, but remember, watch out at the same time. For example, for me, people love when I do just chatting. So talking, especially talking about content, especially when I talk about, I talk to the chat about their content, they're all for it. But as soon as I, turn on anything like a game or Adobe Premiere or Photoshop or anything that I'm doing or put on a VR headset, people tend to go to lurk. And that behavior is normal. As frustrating as it might be for a streamer, it is completely normal because some people are gifting you their time when it comes to engagement and they have things to do. So when you finally disconnect from giving them your full attention and you turn on the game, this is when they're like, okay, this is my chance to actually get stuff done in my life. I might leave a lurk, but I have to do this. So you take that information and you do what you want with it, but don't let it discourage you from playing any video games because you're just chatting sessions are getting more attention.
Remember, improving audience retention takes time and effort. Keep working on engaging with your audience, producing high-quality content, and building a community around your channel. With dedication and persistence, you can build a loyal audience that keeps coming back to your streams.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is not bad. It's just a little generic. Let me know if you think some of the advice, it's not really advice, was useful. And yeah, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. There are certain things that, from knowing the community, I know that you might not want to focus on because some people will just pick and choose what they focus on when you give them a list like that. Things like collaborating, don't focus on collaborating, networking, this idea of that's going to magically make you grow. It's not really true. Just make friends, be a normal human being. That one point about encouraging positive interactions and create a welcoming environment for all viewers, you can absolutely have a stream that is, pretty toxic in a way, right? Where you as a streamer, you're toxic. Maybe you like to trash talk in video games and things like that. And can be pretty aggressive and all that and still be welcoming actually, and still encourage positive interactions. That doesn't mean that chat needs to be lovey-dovey with each other. It's just that you have to set boundaries such as, hey, for example, when I'm rating someone, we show a lot of love, a lot of support. There's a lot of things that we might agree here to do, but we're not going to do them outside. After all, it's just banter, it's just entertainment and things like that, right? Keep them in line. You don't want the toxicity to turn into real toxicity, especially if you're playing competitive games. I personally am an advocate to a certain degree of toxicity because that's what competitiveness is. Boxers will trash talk each other before a match. They'll do the whole thing where they almost kiss because this gets people hyped up about the match, right? But also once the match is over, they'll hug, they'll shake hands, and they'll remind each other that, hey, I appreciate you. And all of that will die down. So just try to remind your audience that entertainment is entertainment, and then there's real life where you expect them to be decent people. Anyways, this was a fun idea I had and I wanted to do, so here it is. I'm actually gonna go live on TikTok in a little bit right now. So thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitch because I stream. Yes, I don't just come here, give you advice and then never touch the platform. I do stream on Twitch, and I will see you next time. Go out there, make me proud, get level, out.